What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Mommy, are you ready yet?
Yes.
Okay, we've recut this apparently twice now. We've started over. So, hey, Mom was on a sneezing spell, guys. So, good. Welcome back, man. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm here, Rod, the legendary Amber. My lovely wife here, lovely assistant. She's on deck today for home time, man. And we just came back from the gym. And we do have kids in there. They're tucked away playing video games, but if they do make any kind of noises, man, just understand we are a family. This is what we enjoy, we appreciate about the American way. And so here we are trying to give y'all some information, man. There's a lot of things going on crazy in our country right now. Our economy's crap. We've had a lot of illegals crossing the border, so on and so forth, man. Apparently there was an election last night. If y'all are aware of that, everyone's aware of it. Everyone's talking about it, right? Y'all know where I voted. If you follow me on Facebook, y'all know what I do. Y'all know how I move. We support Trump here in this household. We've been through some ins and outs, and politically we've went from one place to another. Of course, we're black. We started off Democratic, but we found ourselves here, and we're gonna explain some of that to y'all and explain how we come up with all of that. But welcome, Mama. How you feeling today?
Good.
I'm
a little tired.
And the gym. She was in the gym today, y'all. So she low energy, but we got some coffee. And she done drank a lot of that, so we in here now. So I think she gonna be all right. we gonna be all right. We're gonna talk about some of these issues, man. I'm gonna try to get back into discussing financial literacy and education for y'all, because a lot of people online are requesting it. But most importantly today, the topic of discussion is gonna be like moving forward. Okay, moving forward with the nation. We've got a situation now. We've got a new presidential elect. It appears that he won quite unanimously, right?
Yeah.
We've got, it looks like the control of the Senate, Republicans. We've got, looks like, definitely the presidency. We know Trump, the Republican nominee, is now the president. Then it looks like we might even get the House too, all right? And there's a lot of feelings about that. There's a lot of feelings in it. And honest with you, there's a lot of it negative. So I'm gonna talk about some of that today. We might get off into some of the financial stuff, but mostly we're gonna talk about, how should people be interacting with one another, all right? Because there's a lot going on, right? There's a lot of hard feelings from, the place where you would expect it, quite honestly. And if I'm gonna be frank with you, it's coming from the left, the place where you would absolutely expect it, all right? There's a lot of people pitching fits. People on the left have notoriously called people on the right evil. Whereas people on the right, their opinion about the people on the left is, well, they're not evil, they just need to be educated, right? You've had the leader, Donald Trump, being called Adolf Hitler. Now, listen, if he was going Hitler, he would have done that already. I understand his position was that he had I believe it was the one of the Senate or the House, but something was stacked against him to where he couldn't pass what he wanted to pass or do what he wanted to do. So now that the cards are all the way on the side of one party, we're gonna see some momentum. We're gonna see some changes. And guys, I'm in the camp of believing that that's gonna be positive change for everybody, right? But there's a lot that believe that it might be, that it could be negative. I'm no fool, okay? I'm not blind to the idea that having total control could go problematic, right? You know what I'm saying? It could go south. But guys, there's a lot of positive I think could come from this party. And, it seems to be the party of traditional family values. It seems to be the party of, you should be rewarded for the work that you put forth, and not, reaping the reward of someone else's, hard work and dedication, right? So there's a lot to talk about. All right, but first of all, we'll get off into this whole argument, this conversation regarding the way people communicate. Just to introduce y'all to the situations that we've been dealing with ever since we came out Republican, right? A lot of people on Facebook, again, I've already mentioned they call us evil, so on and so forth. You get a lot of rhetoric where here's one thing that we get a lot, right, which doesn't fit the description of my personality, nor my wife, or anybody else I know for that matter. But it's slung out there like mud, like filth, right? This ignorance, right? Your stupidity, or in some way attacking someone psychologically or their ability to make sense of the world around them. Their intelligence, I guess, is the one word you would use. Guys, that is silly. It's a silly way to think. Now here I am, and I'm not finna toot my own horn, but I'm gonna toot my own fucking horn. Excuse me. Look, I was supposed to be cussing on. Look, I'm trying to keep this YouTube friendly. I might edit that out. I'm trying to keep it YouTube friendly, but I'm gonna toot my own horn. I can't be stupid. All right, I look at the things that's going on around me, and I look at a whole lot of people making bad decisions. All right, now again, what is the traditional family American value system? What is the American dream? Right, wife, kids. If you're a woman, husband, kids. Right, that was everyone's dream. I mean, not 30 years ago. I was born and raised on this. I mean, Amber, can you agree with that? We were born and raised on the idea that we should strive to create this nuclear family. Matter of fact, there's a lot of people saying that right now today. Black people, if we could just bring back the nuclear home, if we could just bring back the nuclear family. I got that going. I got that going for myself. I was able to finesse through all of the rhetoric bullshit that a lot of people got. I'm not gonna say all people. A lot of folks got sucked into. I was able to finesse around that. I found a girl. I found Amber when she was just a girl. I mean, 18 years old. I was 20 when we met. She attached to me. And it's even worse for the women, right? I mean, the rhetoric that's shoved down y'all's throat about you shouldn't need no man, you should pursue education. You could have easily fallen victim to that. Yeah. But we chose each other young, and we were intelligent enough. We were intelligent enough to see through the bullshit. Another thing. A lot of people got sucked on that college scam shit. And I told y'all, back in the day, when I dropped out of college, everybody thought I was tripping. You remember that? Everybody thought I was tripping. My parents, sibling, cousins, you name it, right? Relatives, uncles, all of the whole nine, everybody thought my life was over. Like there wasn't all of this industrial labor force jobs that pay great wages. Like my life was just over at the moment I dropped out of college. And a lot of people, once again, they took the blue pill. Once again, they drank the Kool-Aid. They went right there. They got their damn college education. Now look, now you're asking for student loan forgiveness. Would y'all be surprised to realize and recognize, I suspect, I don't have the data for it, but I suspect that I bet you I could find the data, in fact. I might look for it. I suspect that there's going to be heavy overlap between those individuals that got stuck with that college and student loan debt and people that are going to be asking in 10 years from now for forgiveness on the loan that they took, the mortgage loan that they took, right here, right now in 2022, 2023. If you bought a home in 2022, 2023, you have an interest rate that is 6 to 8% right now. That's untenable, right? On top of the inflation that we've never seen in my lifetime. What was it, 20-some-odd% inflation over 3 years? So you bought at the peak of the damn market with the highest interest rates I've ever seen in my lifetime. I believe it's the highest I've ever seen in my lifetime. Either way, it's higher than it has been in the past 20 years, okay, at least. Again, I don't have the paper right here in front of me. I don't have it right here on my screen. And you bought at the top of all that. Now, that's not wise. But look, but your real estate agent, they said, what they say, Amber?
It's a great time to buy.
Great time to buy. Refinance.
Oh, yeah, just refinance.
We can get out of it. We can get out of it, okay? All right, bet. So 2 years later, now the housing price fell across the board in almost every jurisdiction. Come down what? The average is, I think, 20% in the nation. How you gonna refinance a 20% negative growth on a property or anything for that matter? You think a bank's gonna be willing to take that on? No. Come on, dude. So now you're gonna be stuck with that, and you got two options. You either push on through it, which I advise that you do. If not, I can't advise you anything. I'll tell you what, I can't advise you anything. I'm gonna take that back. I can't advise you anything. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just the type of guy that I would end up more than likely trying to push myself through it. It might be a bad choice, actually. You might be better just taking the foreclosure and letting it go. I don't know. Look, you're going to talk to somebody about that. That's bigger than me. I don't know. But what I can tell you is, I definitely can tell you it was foolish to have purchased that property in 2022 or 2023 at the peak of that damn market. Yeah. But guess what? These people gonna go right ahead. These are the people calling folks like me for supporting Donald Trump a fool. These are people calling me stupid. Now I'm able to, our relationship ain't been peachy keen, able to hold that together. She was able to hold that together through all the hard times. It ain't been easy. I say it's been damn hard at some points, huh? What'd you say? It's been rough. But we was able to come through that. It takes some type of intelligence to realize that your family is more important than the bullshit they're gonna tell you, well, he did this or she did that, and you're supposed to separate and all this kind of nonsense. When y'all bit that, a lot of y'all broke up. A lot of you ladies out here, single women, trying to figure out your way in the world and what you're supposed to do. And I hate it for you. I hate seeing it. I wish I could have been there. I wish I was your father. I wish I was somebody important in your life to where I could have told you, either stick with that dude, don't have the child in the first place. I know the hottest topic issue is the abortion issue here. That's why most of y'all couldn't support Trump. Well, Trump put it back to the states, so you're wrong about the fact that you think he's trying to ban anything. He put it back to the states, and as far as I'm concerned, and as far as he's claiming, that's where it's gonna stay. But that was the hottest topic issue on the books for the Democrat women. Okay, y'all just have to be able to get rid of the mistakes you make. If I were your father, I'd have told you. If I were your uncle, I'd have told you, don't make the mistake in the first place. Okay, find a man that's worthy of your time. Find a man that's putting forth effort out there in some real intangible way. And at the very least, because you didn't have none of that. I wasn't none of that at 22, 23. When we met 20 years old, I wasn't none of that. I was in college being stupid, around here, drinking alcohol every night, smoking weed, and missing work. That's what I was doing. But at least make sure he was into you.
Work together.
Yeah, I'm saying. But at least
you always kept your word though.
I kept my word. That's the one thing she tells me. I'm always a man of my word. At least make sure the man ain't lying to you, deceiving you. At least make sure he's spending time with you. And you know, all we did was we sat down, we smoked together, and we used to sit there, smoke, drink, and watch movies. What did we watch back in the day? Twilight. You remember that? Dude, you introduced me to Twilight.
I know.
I thought it was, that's feminine. I can't watch that kind of twinkling vampire. Think about it. Me watching a movie about a twinkling vampire after hearing first that it's about twinkling vampire. Yeah. But I sat here and I watched it. We had a good time. We went through the Harry Potter series together. Yes. I introduced her as the Paranormal Activity.
Oh, God.
Do you remember that? How scared you were. Paranormal Activity, freaking out. Daddy, is this real? That was the... Oh, you didn't call me daddy back then.
No, but you were not daddy back then.
I wasn't daddy back then. But, that was such a good time, right? And so at least you could have made sure you were having that with a guy. And to be frank with you, and, a lot of women, because I get a lot of backlash like this, we don't know, a lot of y'all ladies know. Yeah. A lot of you ladies realize that, like, this dude's not spending the attention that you really, when he texts you, when you text him, he's not responding. Y'all, they really know. Yeah. They're gonna sit there and play coy like they have no clue what's going on. This is what they always do. Yeah. Now, this is the party claiming that I'm dumb.
Right.
But they claim ignorance on every front, right? I'm too ignorant to watch who I'm sleeping with, so I need an abortion. Right. I'm too ignorant to pick a man right, so I need an abortion. There it is again. This is back to the meat and potatoes of my damn argument. But they call us ignorant, though. Yeah. You gotta watch out for stuff like that. I just spoke about the housing market. You gotta watch your money. Look, these phones right now, and I knew it was gonna happen. It's happening on the left. I look at legislation a lot. I listen to CNBC. It seems to be the most honest media source, just because they talk about money. They follow the trail of money. They say what's going on, blah blah, this and that, and the third. And soon as these devices were able, I should say, as soon as you were able to use these devices to go in and use a method like or an app like Robinhood or any of those other financial apps where you take control of your finances, you take control of your investment portfolio. See, all everyone else knew was 401k. Mm-hmm. All everyone else, maybe you knew about a Roth IRA, and that's if you were paying attention to Dave Ramsey. But he's YouTube famous, so you would have had to do your research to find him even, right? That's where I started, if you remember. Yeah. All those years ago, Dave Ramsey.
I think he's still like the number one.
Oh, he's still killing.
He's still like
number two.
One.
I believe number 2 or 3, but Joe Rogan's number 1 podcast.
Well, no, I'm talking about as far as like financial.
As far as the financial coaching,
yeah.
I bet you he is.
Yeah.
I bet you he is. He teaches a really tried and true and safe method, to be quite honest with you. It's extremely safe. And you're not going to get rich overnight on it. It's not going to happen rapidly. It's a slow and sure way for you to gain wealth. Yeah. But I knew, right? I knew as soon as these apps were put on these phones to where we could actually manage money and it was used at mass, that there was going to become legislation. They were going to try to pass legislation that was going to halt our ability to grow. Is the correct way to say this? Ergo, the Democratic policies that they were just trying to push. You got folks. Kamala Harris was trying to talk about taxing capital gains. Now, for y'all don't know what that is, I'll explain it briefly. Capital gains would be when you invest in anything. It could be a car, which is rare, but it could be a home. It could be a stock is usually what they're referring to, or an option, but let's just go with stocks. You purchase stock in a company, the company goes up in value. So if you put $100 in, it goes up to $200. You've now made $100. That is unrealized gain because you haven't realized it. Now, once you sell that asset, you've made it real. You've realized that gain because at any point, that $100 could decrease in value. It happened with Tesla. If anybody was to buy it off in Tesla, I believe it was in the November of 2020, was it? And then Tesla took off the next year. They did like 200-300% that next year. Now then, I mean, they went off into the stratosphere. I mean, Tesla has done, I don't want to quote the number, I can't remember right off the top of my head, but it's gone sky freaking high. Now at that peak, if you had sold, you realize all of that profit. But since then, I believe Tesla was at $380, maybe $400 a share. It's come back down. It's sitting right now at $280 after hitting a low somewhere around $240. So if you didn't sell up there, then your profit was not real. It's not realized. Okay, that's what an unrealized gain is. Now that all that knowledge comes from the fact that I'm experimenting and playing with my money on Robinhood, on Fidelity. I've got accounts for my kids, for myself, and I'm working those accounts. I'm managing money myself, and I'm learning myself. Okay, so that's how I figure out what all this stuff is. But the point I'm trying to make is, they wanted to tax unrealized gains at an absurd rate. I believe the rate they were quoting, Amber, if I can't remember specifically, it was something like 40-something%. It was way up there, guys.
Yeah.
It was high as all hell. But, and it might not have been realized gains. Again, I don't want to misquote the policy, because every time I heard higher taxes, it turned me off immediately. They were wanting to, right? But they were wanting to tax unrealized gains, and a lot of y'all was going to vote for that, which means that you are not, what that tells me, if you voted Kamala Harris in light of all of that, and especially if you're a male, again, I see why females don't really care to throw their hands up, because, you know, they're not worried about their money anyway. But if you're a dude and you're going to vote Kamala Harris, you're just going to sit there and stifle your ability to grow. After how many years of all the billionaires that y'all claim to hate on the left, all these ones y'all claim took advantage of the system, they gamed the system. Now that we have the ability to game the system, y'all want to crop out. Y'all want to cut your own damn legs off. That's foolish. Y'all don't pay attention to the policy. So what you would do if you voted for that, you would solidify all of the gains, because they're not going to have to pay it back. You think they're going to go back and retroactively tax these individuals? Hell no. Bezos got away with it. If you don't like Musk, which I'm a fan of, that's Iron Man to me. Iron Musk, I call him. If you're not a fan of he was able to get through. Bill Gates got through. Every president y'all know got through, with the exception of Donald Trump, because his net worth was the only one that we've recorded going down during his presidency. But guys, these people have for years taken advantage of that system. Y'all cut your own legs off as soon as you get the opportunity to. See, this is the type of stuff. But again, this is the crowd calling me a dummy. All right. I think I digress, and I made my point pretty well here. It's ridiculous, Amber. Do you have anything to say on that topic? I'm sure you got something to say.
No.
Think about the housing market, though, mama. You get a person that buys a house right then at the peak of the market. I mean, we noticed houses going for, what was the price for some of these homes? We met a guy, we moved to Austin, Texas, or surrounding area. And we met a guy here where he had bought a home in 2018 or 19, wasn't it? Guy at the pool. Remember this guy? Remember this guy? You remember this big old dude at the pool? Big old guy. He had I don't remember what his kid was looked like or anyway, but he was a father and he was out there with his kids. Anyhow, I got to striking up the conversation. But yeah, he bought a house and he said it had doubled in value in 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. He said it had doubled in value in 2 years. Now it's since come down, obviously. We've been watching the properties around in the surrounding areas. It's since then come down, but the very fact is that's what happened. That's what happened. Now you sitting there, if he was to sell that property, which he didn't, but I know that my next door neighbor did. Before I got here, my next door neighbor sold their property. Matter of fact, it was on sale when we moved here. And the person that moved in, a little old lady, she's just as sweet as can be, talks a lot, but whatever. But she's she moved into the home, and what did she pay for that? You said, you said $550,000? I mean, this house is no big.
Almost $5, I think.
Almost $5?
Yeah.
Almost $500,000, guys, for a house. I mean, I'm talking about a 3-bedroom, maybe.
Yeah, it's just 3 bedroom, 2 bath.
Nothing. I mean,
Not anything special.
$500,000 for that property, right? If I had to make a judgment on what these actual values for the homes in this area would be, $340, maybe. And that's because we have access to a school that's walking distance. We could walk to Walmart across the street, so on and so forth. I mean, it's a pretty good area. But yeah, I mean, not 500,000 or anywhere close, not anywhere over 4, not anywhere over 450. What are you talking about? Yeah, she got robbed. But she had cash because she sold a whole lot of stuff. Matter of fact, she had a property. that she sold out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Took her money, rolled it over. So I think she actually had some left over after she made her purchase. Do y'all? What y'all got left over after the purchase? Y'all just scraping by. Anyway, yeah, I made my point. I guess on to the next topic. So now that I've mentioned that, guys, you have to be intelligent in these conversations, in these arguments. Don't be walking around here calling other folks stupid. Don't be walking around here calling other folks evil. Not only are you wrong, not only are you wrong, but it's you know, I would call it hurtful if I didn't have such thick skin, but I do. I've been through a lot with my family. I don't talk about it online. But a lot of y'all that follow me on Facebook or any other platform, which is predominantly Facebook, you may have heard some of my old rhetoric on my YouTube channel. But a lot of y'all might know that, you know, my family situation with the people I grew up with, you know, immediate family and extended, it hasn't been healthy, let's just say. Is that to put it lightly, right, Amber? Just putting it lightly. This is okay. I'm not stepping on nobody's toes with that one, right?
Yeah.
This is just keep it PG, okay?
Yeah.
Right. It's been toxic, right? To say the least, right? All right. Now I don't speak about a lot of that. Okay, I try to keep all my stuff private. I don't want to. My whole reason for acting that way is because I don't want to harm someone that I have ever cared about. It's called loyalty, guys. To be frank with you, it's what it really boils down to. I won't harm another person unless they are directly harming me. Okay, so I don't come out of my mouth and talk about folks that are close to me. Again, I'm watching exactly what I'm saying right now here at this moment and being very careful not to do that. But, and there is a but. There is a but. But I'll get off into that in a second. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and address it now, then I'll get back to what I was saying. But if you come at me directly and put your shit out there, our shit out there, it's gonna get discussed in the public setting. The way in which you broach the topic is the way in which I will respond. If it's public, I will respond publicly. You want to talk to me privately, I'll respond privately. But what you won't do is front me out in public as if I'm some type of coward. I'm very much not that, and I believe a lot of people have made that mistake in their lives dealing with me. And that, guys, is why a lot of folks don't talk to me. Now, things like what? And specifically what I want to get into, the reason I'm bringing this up and the heart of the message here is I'm noticing from folks on the left some nastiness, real nastiness. Now, true enough, it's on both sides. But it seems to be the rhetoric that comes from y'all's elected officials and some that weren't so elected, like Kamala, who just kind of just popped up as the presidential elect, okay, for the primary, right? Didn't get a single vote. Now, I digress, but your officials, guys, they push this rhetoric and y'all listen, y'all obey, in fact, right? Rhetoric like Trump's a Nazi. Well, what does that make me for supporting him? A Nazi? Right? If he's Hitler, then I would then be a Nazi. A black Nazi. With a black wife. Who...
I mean, men can get pregnant, so...
Yeah, right. It's just everything's up for whatever, right? I guess. I mean, we're already in clown land, right? We're in la la here and off to the races with all the lunacy, I guess you could say. Yeah. And again, this is the party that's calling us dumb. But despite that, despite the jokes I'm making here, I don't actually believe anyone on the left. There's a difference between thinking people are undereducated. There's a difference in believing people are brainwashed and thinking that people are literally evil and irredeemable, right? And guys, we have to watch this stuff. There's some cases I could put out there. I'm not gonna speak names or anybody like that, but you know, somebody today, mentioned I was gonna. What'd you say? How did you put it? Burn. I would burn before her. And some context on the situation was she made a comment under one of my posts suggesting, oh shit, what was it exactly?
You were talking about how all of the people you follow on social media.
She don't follow nobody but God is what her response was.
Right.
I don't follow nobody but God, as if to ha ha he at the fact that and I've never claimed to be a religious person. I was growing up, but I'm not now. But that's a topic for another discussion. Anyway, so I respond to her, burn, ooh, and I said a little something else, but it was mostly to the effect of the point, which was burn, oh, you got me, right? The next thing this lady responds to me when I'm talking about a satirical burn, suggesting that her rhetoric is not very offensive to me at all. In fact, it's humorous, right? That you would, derail the conversation off to this, which I'm not talking about. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, and this woman replies to me, "You will burn before I do." Now, this woman claims to be Christian. This is a family member, though she's not. She was a family member in the past, married to somebody that was in my family, so family member. This is somebody I've kept up with. This is a person, mind you, and just a little backstory. I'm not gonna do names, but this is a person who I put it like this: I've loved her child, as if he was a brother to me, and his children. I love them too. Now, for some reason, this individual don't talk to me anymore. I can't help that. I don't know why. I don't know why people do this kind of thing, but for some reason, and I still talk to, I can't even say that I talk to his woman still, which would be her in-law, her daughter-in-law, right? Is that how it works? If they were married, but well, anyway, and all of that. But the fact is that I still communicate with the family.
Yes, she's not.
But this is a person I refer to as someone who's in my family. I don't want to get any deeper than that. But I've loved her kids and then her grandkids as well, as best I possibly can, as best as they will allow me to, right? But considering, I guess, I don't know, they don't like my hats, folks back off, back away, I don't know, whatever the case may be. This is just typical of this situation. But she says this. She says, "You will burn." Now, guys, listen, I don't necessarily believe that stuff's true, but that's not the point. I don't believe that stuff's actual, maybe real, maybe it's metaphorical for something that happens on Earth. I don't know. I don't know how to judge that. No one has been to the afterlife. No one knows what happened before. We don't know what's going on. If anybody reads these books and claims they do, let's call it a spade a spade. Nobody really knows what's going on here. But for her to say that, she believes it. She believes it. And that gets down to the meat of my argument here. This nasty rhetoric coming from the left about the right is evil and all this kind of stuff, that's the shit Civil Wars is made of. That's the stuff that shit goes downhill real fast when you believe the rhetoric that your party is preaching. Guys, the party that hasn't given a reparation while chanting reparations for black people. The party that chants women's rights, but women are more single than they've ever been. It doesn't seem to be effective.
And women have been losing more rights than they ever have. Like, we've got men entering women's sports and beating the hell out of us.
All under the Democratic Party.
and making us apologize for calling them men. We've got men entering the bathrooms.
Silly. With your daughters. Your wives.
Right.
Your sisters. Like, cousins.
This is what y'all think of when you think like women's rights.
That's what they're championing.
And it's all under the guise of like inclusivity and, being kind, but in reality, you're losing. Like, women are losing. Massive
L for women. So your argument then is that people are losing rights dealing with the Democratic Party that are women. Women are taking a huge backseat to men. And now, mind you, over here, the party of insanity.
Right.
The party that everyone's freaking out about because y'all are Nazis, right? People over here believe that a man's a man and a woman's a woman. And though you may pretend to be something that you're not, or you might actually believe it, the truth is the truth. And I categorize those things as I should. I don't want women to have to deal with men in the bathrooms. Guys, is that, whoa. That's Nazi speak there. I don't want women being outperformed in their sports by other men. Don't say that, Rod. Not in modern America, right? But this is what they vote for. Worsening economic policy. The true, what would you call this? Oppression of women.
Yeah.
The actual oppression of women. All because y'all want the rights to kill babies. Ultimately. All because y'all want the rights to an abortion. It's ultimately what it all boils down to. In my world, men would be so fucking superior. We're midway through the video, so YouTube's censorship module down regulates after a certain point. I didn't know this either, but I'm being told this by the guys that actually use YouTube. Anyway, so if you slip, you slip. Anyway.
Okay.
In my perfect world, dudes will be masculine, so masculine that you ladies, think about this, real talk. Men will be so masculine, you'd be begging to have our children. You'd be begging to reproduce with just one of the fine American men. But still, at this point, how many women are married? How many women are complaining about the selection of men? How many women are in their late 30s, childless, single, late 30s, mid 30s, with children, single? How many single women? Come on, y'all would be begging. And the hot topic for the hot button issue for all the women, I want the right to destroy his offspring because I don't see him as valuable. I don't see him as worthy of my reproductive benefit that I will be given. The ultimate gift you can give a man, and y'all don't want to give it. Interesting enough, right? But in my world, it would be offensive for a male to dress as a woman and go out there and parade as one. In my world, type. But I'm a bigot, okay? Because I want men to do women. Let me ask y'all this scenario. I give this to everyone. It's funny. This circumstance. I put this out for everybody. If I'm on the Titanic. If I'm on the Titanic, the big boat that sank back in I don't know, they hit the glacier. Anyone that's young might be watching, I don't know. But y'all might not know about this story. It's a giant boat. It's the biggest boat that was built in its time. And it's on its maiden voyage. That means when it first sailed out, it hit a glacier and it sunk. Okay. Now, when a boat sinks or some tragic event occurs, the first people that we save are the women and children. As the saying goes back in the day, women and children first. Okay. Now, here's a guy, a Trump supporter. Oh God, well, him and his oppressive values. But I think the women and children should have got off the boat first. I mean, is that so controversial? Oh my God, yeah, but here we go. But I believe the women and children should have been off that boat first. Now, here I am as a male, and I've let all the children and the women get off this damn boat. And it's one lifeboat left. And it can fit 5 men. 4 already get on, and I'm next in line. I'm standing next in line, and I'm about to get off this boat. Now, I've sacrificed possibly myself in order to let these women and these children off. And standing next to me is a transgender who says, you forgot me. Who getting off that boat? Who getting off that boat? Now, I'm going to be frank with y'all. It's going to be the one that survives this altercation.
Yeah, like...
It's going to be whoever got the most physical prowess. Because I'm about to get off this boat. Ain't no way a man's getting off the boat for me because he's disguised as a female. I'll be frank with y'all. But here I am. I'm the crazy one. Now, I've gotten slightly off topic. The point I'm trying to make is people on the left toss ugly rhetoric to people on the right. They vilify us, demonize us. They go as far as to tell us we're gonna burn in hell if they're Christian, right? This is a person that I loved at some point in my life, okay? Who I thought loved me at some point in my life, but y'all act like that. There's been countless stories on the internet. You've seen them. Folks all, coming out, I've lost family members over these. We're just at the gym. A friend of ours walks up, been ignoring this kind of ever since I started donning the hat. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it must be the hat. Must be that, because, they kind of staying back a little bit, kind of staying, kind of afloat, and I don't necessarily want to openly associate all of this, but today, she speaks. Hate the hat, but love you guys. Hate the hat. I legitimately don't hate the fact that people are supporting Kamala. Because at a certain level, though it's an intellectual level that I don't share, I understand them. I get what the arguments are for women that want abortions. I just don't think it's logical, but I understand it. I don't call them evil. It's not. I don't think women are just like wanting to like rip their offspring out of themselves to do it just for the sake of doing it, right? You don't necessarily think, Amber, do you, that women are orphan babies just because they want to?
No.
This ain't no Mike Myers type.
But
it was just Halloween, wasn't it?
Yeah, but this goes back to that thought I had at the gym when I was like, meaning, and I believe this is true for most of our generation, like millennials, like most of us probably grew up Democratic, thinking, Democratic, like, oh yeah, like everybody should, just more like of a communism type of, just,
right.
Yeah, like socialism. Not communism.
No. Yeah, actually it is. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. One's a bit more extreme than the other, I believe.
Right. But yeah, I think most of us grew up thinking that way, and so like the people that have, recently, or let's just say in the last decade or so, like recently shifted and started leaning more conservative, like we understand people's position on the left because like we've been there. Like I've believed all the lies. I've believed all the propaganda. Like I've fallen victim to it at sometimes myself. So I understand where people from the left are coming from, which is why I think people like us tend to have more compassion for them, and we can empathize with them. Whereas, like, I would never go up to somebody that like was wearing a Harris Walls t-shirt or hat or something and be like, yeah, I don't like that's a stupid shirt, bud. Like, like I just keep my opinion to myself because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter to me. As long as when we're around each other, we respect each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, like people on the left who are still on the left and haven't transitioned yet, they don't know what it's like on the other side. All they've ever been is right here, and so they can't empathize with us. They have no clue. And I was like, like all of my family, I'm sure is Democrat. I don't really speak to them, but like. I'm like, have you ever asked yourself, and this is for the people who are Democrats and maybe you've turned away from friends or family who are conservative and you no longer speak to them, but like, have you ever asked yourself why they vote the way they do? Because I know why you vote the way you do. I've been there. I believe all the same stuff that you believe right now. But nobody has actually taken the time to be like, Amber, why, like, you used to be over here, but now you're over here. Like, what happened? What happened in your life to make you change? Or, like, I'm just curious. I want to know.
You'd be hard pressed to get a phone call from any of these people
like, nobody has ever
just to ask you how you're doing.
Right. Nobody has ever asked, and it's not because I don't believe these people are doing it maliciously. I just think that they are truly not interested. Like I just think they're not interested, and they're perfectly content staying where they are in life and like just hoping for like different results.
I don't mean to interrupt. I hope you've made your point because it's a good one. Because it's a damn good one. But I want to push back a little bit, but it's gonna, I think, run congruent with your general thesis. Here I am, the type of guy back then. I know it's possible. I know it's possible for a Democrat to think outside the box because I did it. Recall back when I was working at ARC Terminals back there in Mobile, Alabama, all the truck drivers that came in, they were obviously Trump supporters, especially the owner-operators, the ones that own their own business, own their own company. They would come in and we would shoot the breeze, man. We had good conversations. I'm a young black guy. They're these old white guys, and we're having these talks, and they're telling me about why they support Trump the first time around, or why they vote Republican in general, or so on and so forth. And I'm listening, I'm understanding, and I give him my pushback, them my pushback on why I vote Democratic, and they understood and they listened to me and they heard me out. But I also listened and I heard them out. I didn't demonize these individuals. I didn't do that. And also, Amber, I just, because you had a good point. Your point's right on with the general topic of the discussion for today, with how nasty the left can be. But I also want to give props to those who are not so nasty. You got guys like, there's a guy that I talk to on a regular basis online, and he comes in and he'll say something, but he's like, I try to pay attention to both sides. These guys, I'm going to tell you, there's something special about them. And I'm going to tell you what is special. These are the ones that eventually they convert. Yeah. These are the ones that eventually change.
Yeah.
Because if you open your ears to logical discussion and logical debate, you're going to pick the side that makes the most sense. If you close your ears, which I have found is a lot of people, it's a good segue. That's why, because you was right on it, and I was like, I want to keep on this thread. A good segue to the fact that how many Democrats do you notice online when I'm arguing with them that once I ask them that question, that baits them, right? Put the bait on the hook and I sling it out there, and I wait on them, and they choose to not bite that hook. They won't do it. Yeah. They will not answer that last question that will make their point invalid. For instance, I had a conversation with an old person that I dealt with back when I was a kid. I say old person, he's not an old person. Let's say he's about, I think he was about 10 to 15 years older than me, this guy. Older black guy, used to train me back in the gym. If my dad wasn't at the gym, I would drive up, meet him, and we'd hit the weights. So I respect this guy. Much respect to him. Ex-military. Much respect to this guy. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I call him Teach still to this day. I've never called him that ever in my life, but as a term of endearment to make sure he understood where I'm coming from when we're having these arguments, a point of reverence, right, to him. That's what I call him. Now this guy comes in and we're having an argument. And we're arguing about, I think it was Marcellus Williams, I believe is the guy's name, right? He's the one that was just put down. When I say put down, he was executed, right? He had been on death row for a while for a crime of allegedly, well, it was convicted at this point, so it's not. It's no longer
He was
allegedly
convicted of stabbing a woman. Like,
right. The evidence
how many times?
is 47 stabbings.
Yeah.
He stabbed her 47 times, so on and so forth. The courts. There was no argument over whether or not he did the crime. In fact, right?
Yeah.
The argument was whether or not he's supposed to be, whether or not he should be executed, or could they give a stay of execution for an appeal, another appeal, or something,
Right.
something to that effect. But anyway. The point I'm trying to make is that during this conversation I'm having with him, I had one question for him. The question that would put him then in, I don't know what I want to say default. That's a physical term, but it would invalidate his position. I asked him, if a person did that particular crime, though you're claiming that maybe there was evidence to the contrary, if a person did that particular crime, are they worthy of staying alive, or do they deserve the death penalty? To which he gives no response.
Right.
Because the obvious response for any male, right? I understand women. Women are usually the more gentle of us, right? But for any military age male, what'd you say? Not you. I was gonna say not you. I thought you were saying not me. I'm not as gentle as all these other females out here. Right. But no, for any military age male, any rational female, this is condemnable, right? This is worthy of the death penalty, or a multiple stabbing. It seems like a very heinous crime. Seems like so on and so forth. This to me meets the criteria. He would not answer the question, refused. I had another conversation later. I'm not going to sit here and dig it up and try to remember what it was. It was a similar conversation where I asked him a similar question. He did not, he failed to respond in that regard as well. No, you know what? I do remember that conversation. That conversation, you had something you wanted to say. But that conversation was regarding January the 6th. I'm going to hit that real quick. Regarding January 6th, everyone sits there and, oh, is this, is that, is bad, is insurrection, all this and so on and so forth. Yeah, but under what context would something like that actually be appropriate? See, this is what y'all fail to realize. The people that raided the Capitol on January 6th, I do not sympathize with, mind you, because I was going to wait and see what all information came out. I thought it was done in haste, but they believe that our election was stolen by our government. At what point do you say, you know what, our government's tripping and they're being deceptive? At what point do you stand up and take control of your government when your government defects against its own people? Do you wait for a Tiananmen Square? If you don't know what that is, you look it up. Do you wait till your college students, in other words, are being shot down in the street by the military before you respond in kind, or before you take control? As far as I remember, there was no guns brought by the protesters. They may have broken some windows, they may have stormed in, whatever. But the only person that was shot was a protester. From my understanding and the video evidence that I've witnessed, I've not seen one protester actually put somebody in danger. Didn't see that, me personally. All I saw was that, they broke some windows and they took over they commandeered some rooms and so on and so forth. But I digress. The point I'm trying to make is, at what point at what point does it make sense? Likewise, on the left, they'll condemn January 6th, but Antifa's just fine tearing up Seattle, burning down police precincts, burning up cars and flipping them in Georgia, just destroying communities left, right, running up into Gucci stores, stealing from K Jewelers, like going in and stealing millions of dollars worth of jewels and diamonds, all under for the fact that black people have been unjustly persecuted in this nation for all these years after slavery and Jim Crow and so on and so forth. Now, if I can look at that and go, well, it makes sense, I wouldn't do it, I don't think it's right, but I get it, then where's the understanding on the other side? I digress. Anyway, you had a point to make earlier. I hope I didn't throw it off because you said that you did this. Yeah, you did this.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I just thought of something. Back to something you were saying about men being more. When you were talking about like, should this person be executed
Yeah.
for this crime? Like
Right.
men being more.
Men would be more.
Women being more gentle,
Yeah,
like
indeed,
compassionate. But no, interestingly enough, I watched a video the other day. I think it was on Facebook. That's what I was trying to find. But basically, it was a person asked a question to all these different women, like all different demographics, black, white, Asian, young, old, whatever, right? Would you kill for your child?
Oh man, I'd be surprised.
And I was astounded.
Let me guess.
I was
I bet you would.
astounded at the amount of women
I bet you
that
were.
said no and or were extremely hesitant
And
to
conflicted.
answer.
Because for me, it's a resounding hell yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
What
like,
do you mean?
the fact that it's not
Will I kill for my
a
child?
immediate like hell yes
Come on now.
is part of like why we have the issue we have today.
Ladies, y'all believe in this stuff? Is that how y'all believe out there? Leave me a comment. Like, is that how
But
y'all
in
feel?
the same breath, will say that women should have the right to abort a child.
Damn.
So
And
you
the
have
irony.
no problem admitting that you would kill your unborn child, but you have an issue with saying that you would kill for the child
That's
you
already
have.
born.
Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand how we've gotten to a point in society where everything is just so flipped.
Yeah.
Like, everything is just so flipped. You have women being so vocal and just acting like so enraged about things. That's why, like, earlier today, when, you know, the person was like, oh, I hate the hat, but love you guys. And you were like, you should have continued down that. But me personally, I don't even feel like women should vote. So I'm not going to sit up here and try to strike up a political debate. Like, we're two women. She's speaking purely out of her emotion. I know I'm eventually going to start talking purely out of emotion. So, like, that's not, like...
So we're going to just be
that's
good.
not even a smart... Like, yeah, like, two women talking about politics. Like, that wasn't even a thing back in the 1950s. Like, women didn't gather and talk about politics. Like, they left that to the men.
I'm telling you.
Like, we'll let our men decide, like, what's best. But, like, let me and you talk about, like, our kids. And, what we cook for dinner. Like, what are you going to do, you know, this weekend, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in all that stuff. But,
Your perspective on that is hilarious, by the way. I mean, it's funny. You know, when you say things like, you know, you don't think women should vote. That's funny. Listen, guys, it's funny because, interestingly enough, I don't share that sentiment. Do I think that
I'm
women...
a bit more hardcore when it comes to
right.
things.
She's making me wear that hat, guys. She said, you know how Trump supporters are. I sleep on the couch if I don't wear the hat, so I'm forced out here to wear this hat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you know, you know, I don't really share that sentiment, you know, but I understand it. You know, what she's saying, her position, and I'll say your position is humorous about it because, honest to God, like, you couldn't care less about this stuff. Like,
No.
I drag you kicking and screaming into the political debate. Like, I send videos. I'm like, look at this dumb shit here, you know, and quite honestly, if you weren't entertained by that, you'd probably be looking at hair care products or maybe makeup tutorials or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Comedians or comedy or anything like that. You know, I guess you'd have to understand the jokes though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but she couldn't, you know, you want to be so far removed from that. And that's the thing, ladies. A lot of you ladies, y'all, I think they're coming to this realization. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's what most women want. Like, we don't want to sit up here and be mad and angry.
I don't want to sit up here
people all the time. Like, nobody wants to be doing that.
I don't want it.
Like, I think for the majority of women, other than, like, I don't know, maybe like your Candace Owens, who I greatly admire, but like she's a rare breed. But most women, like, no, like, don't you want to just sit back and like enjoy your life, have fun with your kids, like go do stuff? But like, you're taking on the stresses of a man, and we're not built to handle this. That's why, like, all these, we were talking about earlier, all these our friend was sending us all these videos, and like we were having a good laugh about these women that are just like crying out into the internet right now and just like straight freaking out because Trump won. And I'm like, even back when we were
Yeah, I was telling that
against
story.
Trump. Like,
I was telling that story today. I was telling her how there's I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. A cousin of mine, we had voted. Well, I didn't vote Hillary that year. I think I went Gary Johnson. I believe that was that year, right?
Yeah.
So I did the whole independent thing because,
Right.
like, every Republican, they made the transition, but some went kicking and screaming like I did. I didn't want to go straight over to the Trump because it seemed like too much. I get it. Like, it seemed like it was way too fucking. I know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because you saw the independent. She had some votes. Who was it this year that had the Green Party and the independent? Oh yeah, RFK was the independent this time. He had some votes. He was put on the ballot. He was the independent. And he tried to get himself removed from the ballot because he didn't want to step on Trump's toes because they were now like in allegiance with one another. So cool, but he couldn't get himself off the ballot everywhere. So he still got votes. And then the Green Party, it was a lady beneath him, the Green Party. She got some votes. Oh, bless her heart. She was in there. But I didn't want to just go all the way, so I did Gary Johnson. But anyway, the cousin of mine, I guess he voted Hillary. I can't be sure, but I know we were all against Trump at the first go around because his rhetoric's bad.
Racist.
I didn't think he was racist. I didn't buy into that.
Really?
No, it was the retard comments and it was that kind of stuff that I didn't care for, right? But his economic policy, I heard what he was saying. Okay, and it sounded good. It sounds good. The top down, we're gonna try to no.
Right.
Now, lo and behold, it was like that. Yeah. I got bread under Trump. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it a whole buck. I was getting paid, taxed less, which it equals out to a raise that everybody's begging for this damn minimum wage increase. Yeah, I got mine, man. I don't know what y'all was on, but anyway, the point I'm trying to make, this cousin comes out. He says, well, he calls me, right? Trump won, Hillary lost, right? Cuz, what does this mean? Under his breath and all, just like that, with that tone. And I was like, we go to work, bro. What do you mean? We go to work tomorrow. It's not, the world don't change.
Life goes on.
It ain't the end of every damn thing. Y'all think what the hell he gonna start? World War III? That's already been started under Biden. What y'all mean? We sitting in the Ukraine already. We deep in the damn Israel. Kamala say she ain't got folks out there overseas, but I know a freaking master in the goddamn in the Marine, not Marines, in the Navy, and I know a damn F-35 pilot. They gone. What y'all talking about? They out there on the damn aircraft carrier, flying the damn jets overseas and the seas in the Middle East. Come on, bro. Y'all sit there and believe that shit? Anyway, y'all sit there and believe that Trump finna sit there and take us into World War III? Anyway, come on, bro. Let's keep it real. The party of the warmonger, that's the left. That's what they're pushing. They're pushing less for you, more for them. Look at Nancy Pelosi. I don't know what party she's in, but she's definitely one of those. If she's not a Democrat, she's one of them rhinos, a Republican in name only. She's one of them. If she's not a Democrat, she's one of them. There is literally stock trackers dedicated to following her trends. If you had bet with Nancy Pelosi, your shit would be up X amount of unrealized gains. The same shit they trying to tax you with. If you just follow their trends, you'll get paid. This is the kind of shit. This is what they want. These are foundational Republicans that have been there. These are what do they call them? There's a word for them that they've been using in this sphere of conversation. Establishment. These are the establishment Republicans. The Republicans in name only. They are establishment Republicans. They vote with the Democrats to keep you down and oppressed. And you get this guy, this crazy Yahoo like Donald Trump. And first time around, I was scared too. Show up and say, I'm gonna tear all that down, and does his damn best to do so. This year, these next 4 years, a lot more is gonna be torn down. And again, I'm no fool. It can go either way. I've never seen this amount of control, I don't think, in my lifetime, at least not that I've noticed, being politically aware, from one party over another. We're about to see. If he's gonna restrict your abortion rights, I'm gonna see it. I pay attention to this stuff. If he's gonna round some demographic up into a concentration camp or some race, religion, or gender or something like that, I'm gonna notice it and I'm gonna be against it. I'm not for that. If he's gonna go ahead and ruin our economy, I'm gonna know that too. If the world's gonna explode because of global warming, we can all go find that shit out. But at the end of the day, guys, the moral of the story today: stop with the comments about folks being evil, because Donald Trump just got shot at. I'm gonna tell you straight up, I shoot back. I guess that's kind of an end-all statement, ain't it?
I
I don't welcome violence into my life, but I'm gonna tell y'all
you
straight
really
up.
said.
I don't welcome violence into my life at all, but I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. I'm not playing none of those games. I'm not playing none of those games. And to be frank with you, none of us are. People over here believe in the Second Amendment. Y'all think we walking around with our pants down? Come on now. Stop with the bullshit rhetoric. We're all people. We're all trying to figure this thing out. Quite frankly, I think I got it figured out better than most folks. To be honest with you. I got what I got. I'm proud of what I got. I'm happy. I'm happy.
I will.
The only thing I can do is keep going up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess. Are we ending this? My final words.
You can keep going if you want.
Last thoughts.
Yeah.
I just want to say that I think it would behoove you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would behoove anyone who's left leaning or votes Democrat or just hates Trump and hates everyone that supports him. I think it would behoove you guys to actually ask your loved ones.
Engage
just,
in dialogue.
Yeah, just engage in conversation.
Do not do what these people
stop
do.
just immediately cutting people out.
Don't do that.
Because as a Republican, this is my first time ever voting Republican.
Yep. Same.
We welcome anybody.
Indeed.
I don't care how you vote. If you come to me and you want to ask questions about anything, I will gladly answer and gladly open my arms to you. And I just think that I just think people should talk more.
That being said, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, I'm gonna reiterate this. We shoot back. And I mean metaphorically. You want to come on my page and start acting a fool, I'm gonna put that out there. I'm gonna just let things know how they are. I'm gonna say things how they are. I ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about protecting my family over some of the stuff that y'all got going on out there. Y'all need to get a rein on that stuff. Y'all Democrats, I'm talking to y'all. Y'all need to get a rein on that stuff.
Yes.
I can't. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I was a Democrat. I'm a Republican now. For this election, I don't know if I'll change. I'm fluid. I go with what makes sense. If y'all come back with a better damn candidate next time, we might consider it. But it's got to be a good one. I can tell whether y'all bullshit me or not, as I can with a lot of different things. Why I get where I get in life. But if y'all gonna keep on with that same nonsense, the same nasty rhetoric and that kind of stuff, you will be attacked back. I don't hold anything back. You want to come out here and meet me face to face in public, we can do that. You want to come do this, that, and the third, you can do that. There is no shame in my game. There is no I'm gonna sit here and there is not a doubt in my mind that if one of y'all attack my children, I'm not finna end you. It's not even a question in my head. I don't know where y'all coming from with that bullshit there. Yeah, you're a woman. I don't care what you are. I'm there is no way in on God's earth or on God's internet that you are gonna attack anything that I love, digitally or in reality, and you're not finna get a rebuttal, bro. I swear on my life, bro. Same?
Yeah.
All right,
just keep it respectful. I'm
keep
all
it peaceful.
open arms.
Keep it G.
Friendly, but yeah, don't attack.
You attack her, you attack me.
I wouldn't care. You can attack me. I'm I don't care.
You don't be good.
Don't attack him.
I'll be the same way,
I'm
though.
coming for your ass. Do not attack him.
That would be the same. I guess that's a great place to end it. Amber, I love you. Thank you for being a guest on the show today. And we're gonna try to bring y'all some more. So y'all take it easy and good luck out there in the world, man. Should get better, I would assume. That's why I voted the way I did. So
yeah.
We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.
That was very good. So how long we did? 1 hour. All right. 3, 2, 1. We're back, guys. What's going on? Welcome back to the podcast, man. I know I haven't got an episode in some time. Amber is allergic at this point.
I gotta start over.
We gotta start over? Okay.
Yeah. You didn't even tell me we're about to. I could have told you to wait until I get my.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to the podcast.
Daddy, I told you you gotta wait.
It's okay. We can always cut it. Don't even worry about it. Stop freaking out. What's going on, people? You good, mama?
No, I'm not.
She's having a sneezing spell right now, guys. If she sneezes again, just ignore it. Welcome back to the podcast, man. Welcome back to Home Time. It's me, Rod, the legendary, Mommy Wami. I don't know if you want to give yourself a new name, but we can do up your Mommy Wami for now until you come up with something better.
Okay, we gotta cut this.
You gotta cut it. What's the you coughing and sneezing?
I'm not feeling it.
You're not feeling what? Dude, you just gotta relax and
wasn't
enjoy the
ready,
podcast.
and
Everything's
then
fine. There's no ready. There's no ready.
No,
Just
but
be
you're
here.
saying mommy
Just
wommy. Like, don't call me that.
You the mommy wommy. There's no
No,
problem. There's no problem with mama. We'll have to recut it.
That's my game. Like, that's my gamer shit. This
It's
isn't
okay.
what I want to be.
You know what I'm saying?
Present myself as.
You just redub it. See, you can't be like this. You can't be argumentative on the podcast. You just gotta enjoy yourself. You
We're
gotta
not on the
relax.
podcast.
And we are, but you think we're
We're
not?
still
We're running.
I told you to cut it.
It's running. We're not cutting it.
I need to be able to talk to you off record
Off record about what?
about whatever I want to
Okay.
say.
Well, we in here, so we finna talk.